Okay, it's 5:22 and I'm calling this Parks Commission meeting to order. We have to do we have to do roll call votes? Paul, may I use your?
Everyone's
here.
So
Okay, so first order is,
you may just want to say who's there for the record, because Carolyn's doing this supposedly. Are you is this on recording? This is on recording.
I'm not recording, but you should be able to hear through that.
Okay, good. But Carolyn's doing it and she won't be able to see who's here, so you might say who's here.
Great, no problem. So just for Carolyn, Davies here, Julie's here, Bill's here, Tom's here. Carolyn is here and she cannot log into Zoom. Are you okay with that? Okay. Okay. Tom's here, Ilana's here, Paul's here, Steve's here, Terry's here. Okay, so I'd like, could we make a motion to approve the minutes from last month's? And a second?
Second.
And all those in favor, oh, discussion. Anybody? Everybody's good. So it's unanimous. Next, parks usage requests. So Lauren Hyde, Paul Steve, is there a way for me to promote Lauren? You could make me the host. Okay. So Lauren submitted 2 different parks usage requests. Just to clarify that there are 2 different requests.
There you go.
Oh, great. Hi, Lauren. If you can unmute yourself, thanks so much. So do you want to tell the commission just a little bit about what you're requesting?
Sure. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, everybody? Good.
Okay, great. Last year we did the same thing where we had requested some use of the Hoosie Dome in advance of the spring season due to weather. And we're looking to do the same thing again this year, really using the Hoosie Dome as like a contingency space if it's like sleeting outside or if there's snow on the ground in the fields that we're trying to get use of are not usable, so that we can at least get some conditioning practices in for the lacrosse league. Last year we only had 1 team in South County, and that was for kids that were in 5th and 6th grade. So this year we're doing 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7, 8 in South County to kind of bring that experience back that used to exist pre-COVID. So the dome request is separate from the field request.
So could we take the dome request first? It's my understanding that that Hoosie Hoops is finished for the season, but Pick and Roll is coming on and they have submitted a parks usage request also. But it's my understanding that in years past, you've worked it out with them to accommodate both in the case of weather.
Yes, and Matt Chamberlain happens to be the coach for my son's 7-8 travel team. And we spoke about it this past weekend, and the only dates that I think we would be overlapping would be into April, those last 2 that I requested, April 2nd and 4th. And I don't even know if we're going to need indoor space at that point, but I'm asking for these spaces as a contingency so that weather permitting, we can be inside or outside. And I had said to Matt, like, if we can sort of plan on those dates, and then if we're not going to use them because it's going to be, I'm going to put this out into the universe, 75 and sunny the week of April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, then I would communicate and say, hey, I don't think we're going to use the Hoosie Dome, or it's going to rain all day and be 45. Like, I think we want to use the dome. So, but certainly willing to accommodate whatever.
Great.
Is needed.
Great. So do we make a motion before we discuss this? Yes. So anyone care to make a motion to approve this? And a second? Okay, a discussion?
Can I just ask Matt, are you okay with working this out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which discussion, are we taking up basketball or lacrosse?
No, just lacrosse and
Okay.
just at the Whoosy Dome to
All right.
start. Okay. I mean, I think that if it is agreed upon between them, sounds good to me.
And we already did this last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, same deal. Okay, so can we take a vote? Yes,
I want to ask a couple questions.
sure.
How many of the so-called participants are residents of the town of Great Barrington?
We've only opened registration for like a week and a half. So right now we have like, I think 6 kids signed up. And I did not check their demographic of where they live. That's not a statistic that I have at this exact moment. But last year we had, like I said, we had one team of 5th and 6th graders and, you know, kids from Housatonic, kids from Great Barrington, kids from Stockbridge, Lee. We at the time were living in Ashley Falls. And I don't know what the breakdown was, but I think the team had 14 kids on the roster. So 14 kids were using the space.
So is it safe to say that, that only a minority of players are from Great Barrington and the majority are from outside the town?
I wouldn't know the answer to that question in particular, just because I have not looked at the enrollments that we have as of today. And I know one of our signups from last week lives in Housatonic. His dad was a coach for us last year as well, and they live in Housatonic. So I do not know what the breakdown is. So I do apologize that I don't have that data point, but it is a community team, and you know, our main practice area is usually in Lee, Massachusetts, and I think 2 of our kids last year lived in Lee.
So one more question here. Have you requested use of any other communities' facilities?
Yes,
very good.
I have 5 different requests out right now. I guess you could say 6 if you look at the Whoosy Dome and Olympian Meadows Field.
Well, I mean, it's the same community. So have all the other communities acceded to your request?
Well, the Lee Athletic Field is almost a given. So I'm pretty sure we'll get that. Berkshire School, Salisbury School, I think those will also happen, but they're very far away from places like Lee. So, you know, I'm really trying to build it, and there are many pieces of the puzzle. I've asked for West Stockbridge gym as well, as we just moved to West Stockbridge. So I think, did I just say 5 or 6 of them? So those are the places that I've asked for, and I don't have the official okay on any of them.
Any more discussion?
Well, I'm not sure at this point whether this is something that we should entertain, because it seems, at least right now, from the answers that I've received, is that it's not really a Great Barrington resident program. And I don't know, so we should be using Great Barrington taxpayer facilities to be used by outside groups. I think we have our, you know, we're the ones paying the bills and we're the ones doing all this stuff. And I think at this point, I'm not really convinced that it's in our best interest to be setting our facility or allowing our facilities to be used by non-residents.
Okay, anybody else?
So I would just like to say that we live in a rural area, and sometimes it makes me a little bit worried when we say like, how many people are coming from Great Barrington to use these facilities, because with a team sport, you need a critical mass of people to play. So this provides our kids with an opportunity because more kids are coming in from other places. So it might not be a complete Great Barrington program, but it provides the opportunity for kids from Great Barrington to play a sport that might not reach critical mass if it was just a Great Barrington program. I mean, lacrosse is big in some places and developing in others, and it feels to me like we are developing lacrosse here.
Well, in South County, with the exception of Lee or Lennox, Monument does not offer lacrosse.
And there,
All those students can, at the last I knew anyway, can participate on a co-op basis, and neither does Mount Everett. So,
but
I
it's,
mean, I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it, but I just have a bias against using Great Barrington taxpayer-funded facilities for a majority of the people that are not from the town, whose parents are paying the money. That's all.
so, great. And I think that it's just important that all of our views be heard. So does anybody else have any input? I know some kids from Great Barrington that are excited about the prospect of playing lacrosse. And I think that there's the only possibility of some place like Monument or Mount Everett ever offering something like lacrosse is if programs can build and facilitate some interest. So.
And we've had a discussion with the athletic director at Monument, telling him like, you've got some players coming up, like maybe Monument can have their own team in the future. It's definitely a possibility. And if I could have just a team of kids from Great Barrington and just a team from Lee and just a team from West Stockbridge, that would be something I've never seen in my entire life living in the Berkshires. Having a team of kids from all one town, it's just not a reality that I've seen before. Even our school districts are all, 5 towns, 3 towns, and beyond. So it's just that we don't have enough kids. Like, we're very involved in football, we're involved in basketball, we're involved now in lacrosse, cheerleading. And I mean, to get a football team, to get a full roster, we are pulling kids from Litchfield, Connecticut to come to Great Barrington to practice. And we had another kid from Hinsdale, Massachusetts, coming to practice in Great Barrington for the team experience, because maybe they didn't want to do their own experience in their town.
Thanks so much, Lauren. Bill, one more thing and then,
Just that.
yep.
So right now, the swim team in Monument is made up of Monument, Southern Berkshire, Lee, and Lennox. So the taxpayers are paying for 3 other schools to be involved on our high school team.
Well,
So-
Monument has had and dropped lacrosse.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But this is a little beyond the scope. This is a little bit, yeah, I mean,
That's
this is,
all. I'm
this
just
is,
saying that.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to come back because the mass of students is too small.
and,
That's all.
okay, so shall we take a vote on this? Yes? Sridevi? Yes. Julie?
Yes.
Bill? Ilana, yes. Paul?
No.
Yes.
So that was Steve and also Terry and Tom. Yes. Okay, so that is approved based on you guys having a conversation about it. Lauren, could you just say a little bit, you've already given us a little background, but can you say a little bit about the use of Olympian Meadows?
Sure. So just, basically the same kind of concept as trying to grow the program and looking for additional field space so that we can accommodate more teams and more players within the Southern Berkshire region. Again, parents driving to Cheshire, Massachusetts from Sheffield, Massachusetts to bring their 8-year-old to practice. So we're really trying to create teams in South County because that's a pretty hard sell for someone who has children. I travel far, but for practice to go to Cheshire, and we did that for 1 year. It's really unpleasant, and just trying to expand and have different field spaces and getting more kids involved in the sport so that it can be thriving in Southern Berkshire County.
Great. So I'd like a motion to approve the use of Olympian Meadows for Berkshire County Youth Lacrosse,
Motion to approve.
and a second. That was Julie seconding. Discussion.
Area of Olympian Meadows.
Did you hear that, Lauren?
I did not.
We
What
tried.
area of Olympian Meadows are you looking at to use?
Honestly, the best part to use would be where the football team did it, where the big soccer goals are now. Kind of like where the girls softball down by the river kind of thing, like that space where it's just a big field would be just fine. We wouldn't need a baseball diamond or anything like that. Literally just grass would be awesome.
So the dates, Lauren, it says you've listed some dates from April
To June.
to June, Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. And just for the commission, like I had a pretty hard time identifying the schedule for Olympian Meadows that is posted on the town website. Great.
We also haven't approved softball for this coming year. Or
And
we-
we could do different days. Like I literally just picked those days. That Saturday was like 10 to 12 because it's going to be hot out. I didn't want to do like 12 to 2. It's just could be very, very hot. And if Mondays and Wednesdays are better, like that's cool too, or just Mondays or just Wednesdays or just Tuesday, whatever. I totally am just looking for additional field space and can work around another program's opportunities as well.
Joe, can I ask you, is the plan, the hope that that calendar be easy enough to identify who's using what field, which of the fields? Okay. Right. Yeah. You mean the other fields at Olympian Meadows? Would it be possible to make it like visible so that people who could see it as an option? Because I think one of the things that gets hairy is like nobody wants to use it until they know that it's an option to use it, and then people want to know if the dates and the times are even worth asking for. Yes. Yes, and if they're, bonus points, if we can make it interactive,
Are you talking about the Little League fields or?
No, the open.
all the
open
fields.
field? Well, no, the Little League fields, if we're gonna have Little League be in charge of maintenance of those fields for the whole season, then it's their field to use. Because once we let other people go on it,
Great.
but I agree with you on the multi-purpose fields should have, be on the calendar.
Well,
Yeah, same with minor league, same with girls softball.
any fields that are available to be used by other parties should be obvious to anyone curious about their availability someplace public, so that they can submit a parks usage request with having done their homework. What I meant by interactive is like, you can see multiple months. you could click on a day and have it expand so you could actually see who's using it instead of like right now it's just a photocopied. Yeah. So any way that it can be more real time would be really helpful because then user friendly because then we can just take one of these parks usage requests and put it into the calendar and then everybody knows what's been added. So my concern about approving this is that there are a bunch of other parties that we have approved in the past. It sounds, Lauren, like you're super flexible in terms of making the time work. I love the idea of letting you use it around the edges of other parties that need to be accommodated.
Yeah, the area she's requesting is what we're starting, is the new soccer area. Basically, it's not gonna deal with any of the softball or little league. But we're it's getting popular and townspeople are using the soccer areas, just as a place to go and kick around, and it's something that's available for people to use without having to put requests in, unless the only request is like you say, they wanted to have a specific game or something like that. Otherwise, it's just open. So I think that having it open to them to use would be, fine without having to make it a formal request, as long as they realize other people might show up.
Well,
We
Can't do that. with
We can't do
kids.
that.
No, that's,
Yeah.
Well,
Kids have to be able to play on the field. And
No, I think we definitely need a schedule that says this is an open day. Maybe Sunday is like the day that it's just open for use like.
for soccer on certain
Or-
days of the week.
or most days except when we've got certain
Do-
sports teams in
do
it.
you intend to place lacrosse goals on the field or just use it to throw the ball around?
I do think that it would be a good experience for children to put a lacrosse ball into a lacrosse net, because it is a different size than a soccer goal. So we would look at getting the lacrosse goals down there, which are like, I don't know if you've ever seen them, they're like triangular.
Do you at present time have have lacrosse goals that you would be placing down there, or is this something that you're planning to do, or it's in the future?
Well, last year we had one team, so if we're gonna have three, our league is going to have to probably go to their shed up in Cheshire and get more goals to place. So I believe we already have them. It's just a matter of getting someone to move
You
them.
don't, at the present time, you don't have lacrosse goals.
We do, we do, yeah.
So if we allow you to use the field and you place lacrosse goals on there, it would be mandatory that you would remove them after you're done. Is that correct? You would intend to do that and place them off
If
the
that-
field some other
if-
place?
If that's the instruction, we can accommodate whatever is needed.
Accommodate both lacrosse goals and soccer goals on the same spot because
Same
the
time.
dimensions are much different.
Yeah, I can imagine we would probably do like some scrimmages with other teams, maybe like on those Saturday dates, just to, not an official game, but just so that they can go through the motions even early in the season to know what a lacrosse game looks like. And the goals would definitely be needed. I know during football, I personally moved some of those big soccer goals. They're so big, right? The new ones down there, they're so
I
nice.
know what lacrosse goals are, but I'm just concerned that if we do grant this request and somehow figure out some kind of a schedule, that your group will have to agree to make sure that you remove those goals at the conclusion of your practice time. And I just want to be sure that that's, that you understand that.
Could you just clarify what remove the goals means?
Take them off of the field where other people would be using them
Can we
and place them so that they are not a danger to anybody.
On the
Can we
sidelines.
just, we could find a place to put them off the field, right, you know, and we can lock them up so that nobody steals them or anything like that.
Well, I mean, the soccer goal is gonna be, they're movable so they can be moved around. But the lacrosse goals, if they just flap them in the middle of the field so that the dimensions are somewhat
I think,
similar to lacrosse, that they don't leave them there when we
Correct.
require another group to come down and remove the goals.
Right.
That's not gonna be their responsibility, it'd be the lacrosse.
yes, I think that
response.
it's reasonable for us to expect Lauren and lacrosse to address that and to make sure that the field is completely usable to any other group coming in at any time when they're not on the field. So shall we take a vote on this? Shall we take a vote on this contingent on the other scheduling requests from the other groups? Okay, so can I hear a motion to,
You already have.
I have a motion, an amended motion, Steve?
And I'll make a motion to amend that the times and dates are contingent on other requests that we get in the next month.
Second? Any discussion on that? Are we good? Okay, I'd like to take a vote. Sri
The
Devi,
amendment, right?
On the-
Vote on the-
on the
The
amendment,
amendment.
on the. Sri Devi is a yes. Julie? Bill?
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
that's all of us, yes. So Lauren, between now and our next meeting,
Now we have to vote on the main
you
motion.
do.
we have to vote on the main motion.
Yeah, because that now
We've
is the
amended it.
Thank you.
amended motion is now the main motion.
Excellent. Great. Here we are voting on the main motion. Sri Devi?
Yes.
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 Okay, excellent.
You mean-
Unanimous. Carolyn, thank you so much. Lauren, can I ask you to please attend the next month's meeting?
Yes.
And that way, hopefully before then, but if not at that meeting, we can just coordinate everybody's requests to make sure it works for as many people as possible. Sound
That
good?
sounds great. Yeah, thank you all so much. Much
Thank you.
appreciated.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'm not sure how to move her back out. You got it. Great. Excellent. So Patrick. Hi, welcome. Thanks so much. Do you mind coming close to the computer so that we can hear you in the microphone? Just right here. You got it. Would you tell us about your request, please?
Same request we've had the last 10 years. I think the last 3 of them with you. Before that, it was Mark, and forgive me, I forget. And then it
It was Jennifer at the time, but
Jennifer.
yep.
So same request, 3 days a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 to 9. Sundays, 12 to 3. We will have 3 teams this year. Five of the 30 were from North Adams, 2 were from Williamstown, 1 is from Richmond. I think the balance go to W.
My question is going to be, is this a free program or is there
So for
a
the
charge for it?
Yeah, same as last year. So for the AAU travel team, it's a fee of $225. They have scholarships available. The short version, without showing you my financials, is I'm in the red every year on it. I finance it myself.
Who gets the receipts though?
Pardon me?
Who gets the money? You get the money,
Pick 'em roll gets it. It's a 5.
so the group gets the money. I mean, you're charging a fee to be
Yes.
part of this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we'll do, we haven't finalized it yet. We want to be sensitive to the youth at this age. We don't want to pigeonhole. So spring sports. But we think there's an opportunity to get the girls, the younger girls involved. Hopefully the 5th and 6th grade, the short version is Matt has done an incredible job of taking the Golden Knights organization and moving it into Who's Hoops, but I think we need to make an investment to the program. I think the high school team right now shows that they need some love. So I think we're gonna find some time within the hours that we have to invest in the girls. So,
Are you actually incorporated?
yes,
Because it says incorporated.
Yeah.
In the Commonwealth, you're
I am.
with the
I forget
Secretary of
treasurer's
State.
name.
Okay, no, I'm just wondering, because it's unusual for
I funded it.
groups to be
I
incorporated.
funded it in 2014. Trying to figure that out, but I want to do a little bit.
So you as an individual are liable to the corporation.
Yeah, and I'm building out my. So-
Okay.
But for this request, pick 'em roll, youth basketball with the dome. It's just like a. I don't know if you-
Yeah.
It's central, it's safe. I think Mr. Aberdeen will tell you, treat that place like. it's a- Bob, I try to say- It's kind of my second.
Thank you. I forgot to ask Lauren about her insurance. She and I spoke about it on the phone, but did you submit your insurance to Carolyn?
Waiting for Scott. I think it's, the last thing I have from Deborah Wright is it's done and it should be in my mailbox any day and I forward that to you.
That'd be great.
But we do the same plan.
I'll make a motion
Make a
to
motion.
approve
Second.
contingent on insurance.
Yeah, so as soon as I get that any day, I just send it to
Carolyn at Town Hall and probably Karen and me and,
Same
all that
rules,
stuff.
I
You
think.
got it. Yep. All those any more discussion? All those in favor?
Wait a minute, just want to be sure that we aren't doubling up with people in the same time period. We did that once with this group
These guys,
or
are-
the different group. I want to be sure that we aren't doing the same thing.
this
So
is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 5 to 9, Sunday, 12 to 3. And since Matt's part of it, it's not gonna interfere with
Yeah, we don't go to.
Who's the Hoops.
So.
And the other thing is, eventually, when we have an updated calendar on the website, this will be much easier for everyone to ensure that there's no duplication.
so
It's-
this wouldn't interfere with pickleball because that's in the morning.
Right.
And they'll be outside and the farmer's market is what, March, the end
Saturdays.
of March,
Saturdays.
and they're on Saturday, so that, okay. I want to be sure that we don't do this. We did it to us once.
Yeah, he's pretty flexible. We've seen it in the past anyways.
Great. All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Provided you
All-
apply, with the
Insurance.
understanding that the insurance is gonna be,
yeah, I put that in the motion.
oh, okay, all right.
And all opposed? Okay, that is passed. Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for working.
Okay, great. Next on our agenda is Joe. Do you mind coming closer? It didn't come in time.
So, last meeting. The task I came away with to work with Tom, to see what, if we get anything bigger and clear area out. going into the-
Yep.
So that's what the sketch kind of showed. That's 10 or 15 feet to the field of the high school size, I believe it is. So the next step would be to take that, work with Foresight, get it verified by survey, and get an engineer's estimate, so we know what it costs us. Hopefully we'll have that in the March, if not the April meeting.
So there's nothing we're gonna do tonight on it.
Nothing except just make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah, this looks great, and you're not gonna have to move that path very much. If you
Yeah.
have the high school, you're gonna have to just move it over
A little bit.
a little bit. That
Yeah,
is the route. instead of going all the way around.
So we'll
Thank
take
you.
the next
That's,
step.
yes, please.
That's great.
That's great.
Thanks
Thank you so
Joe.
much. That's excellent. Skate park, I know we're not really discussing it, but you had a brief
I'll
meeting.
just give you an update.
Yeah.
Railroad Street and the whole skate park loop. Devin from Railroad Street is taking charge of,
He's on
being
the
the
line.
point person for that. We had one meeting with him, we had some youth from the high school, we had 2 or 3 different people from interested skate loop. And we're fine tuning what they want there as far as.
Great.
One gentleman brought some sketches, so they're working on that, and as they make some progress, they'll call me back, and then we'll convey that to Buy and Bond to get a plan made up and get it priced.
Great.
Joe, when is your best guess that the Memorial Field project will be completed enough so that the field will be available for use?
We're targeting them. Just to have that.
So you still think it'll be done even though they stopped early?
Well, we kind of reached. That's our target. I mean, if we end up with a rainy spring.
Is it contemplated that the handicap accessibility will be completed at the time the field will be open for
I
use?
mean, as far as like.
Yeah.
Don't know that for sure.
So it's possible that the field will be available for use, but that the rest of the project will not be
Yeah,
completed at that time, but would the work continue?
absolutely.
So that even though we're actually playing,
Yeah, we'll be outside the foul lines.
okay, so that we continue working on the, yeah, I just don't want to see that like stop and then nothing would happen.
Contract pile, under the pile, the long pile.
Mhm.
Stops it. Then the clay is the tarp, so it's keeping dry, so as soon as we get dry weather, the ground dries out.
Mhm.
materials.
Great.
Is there still some question about the backstop?
I don't think so,
Okay.
and that's gone.
Well, what I was gonna say is that if they're looking for a model, in Pittsfield, when they redid Clap Park, and when I went by there a couple of weeks ago, I was surprised, but the backstop is monstrous. So if they're looking for something which could serve as a model, they might want to just take a look at that, and I'm sure that the parks people up in Pittsfield would be happy to give them any information they need, but the backstop it runs almost the whole length of the third and first base sides.
I don't think we're that big.
No, I don't think it's that big either, but if there's still some question as to availability of that kind of structure, I'm sure they could get the information.
And also I haven't fully addressed making sure the foul poles are aligned with the foul.
Yes,
That was a question
yes.
here.
Please
When
do
you look
that.
at
That's always a good
it,
thing.
Might be off.
Just don't make it a
They're
pesky
like-
pole.
they're like
that's
the
all.
big softball,
Thank you.
right field, close.
I see Devin is in the waiting room. I don't know, Devin, if you have something to add.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. we
Sorry.
can hear you well.
Oh, hi. I my internet cut out for a little while, so I accidentally had to get off. But from what I was hearing from what Joe was saying, we're on the same exact page. Right now I'm working with both high school skaters and younger skaters, as well as the senior skaters, the ones that Joe and I met with, and we're putting together a list. I'm most likely going to check in with them in about a week or two to see how their own research has gone, and then I'm going to circle back with Joe.
Perfect. Great. Excellent. Good. Thanks so much, Devin.
Of course, thank you.
Old business, just that Tom and Joe met about the soccer field and Sridevi and I are a subcommittee to discuss fees for park usage. I have 2 dates on here that we will post agendas for. I'm not sure if we can meet at LifeWorks or not, so we might just meet here. Does that sound okay?
It's handicap accessible,
I mean, it is handicapped accessible.
and as long as you don't mind people coming in, it's a public meeting.
I don't mind at all.
I don't know that you can't, you can check with the town manager.
Okay.
I'm sure, but I don't know anything, include you from doing that, as long as it's open to the public and handicap accessible.
Great. So stay tuned for location and we'll post an agenda in enough time, if anybody wants
Do you
to
have
join us
dates?
for that.
Yep.
Yeah, the dates, February 12th and 26th, Mondays at noon.
That's next week, the
Yeah.
week from today.
Yep.
Great.
Okay, any other, nope, new business, citizens, James?
Could I just say one thing?
Yep.
So, I went to the Lake Mansfield
Oh, great.
task force. And we will be, I'll be going to the February 21st meeting of the Conservation Committee. We're on their agenda. I know, Paul, that's of interest to you. So to discuss the weed issue.
Great. So maybe Carolyn, you could put that on the agenda for next month's meeting and you can tell us what comes of it.
So when is the meeting, Bill?
21st.
Of this
February.
month?
Yep.
Great. James. Great Barrington citizen, did you want to say something?
That doesn't work.
Okay.
No,
Any
I'm
other?
good, thank you.
Okay, thanks so much. Any other citizens not in the room? Commissioners, Sridevi, Julie, Bill?
Nope.
Tom,
I'm all set, thank you.
Paul?
Yeah, I just want to say that I think that as a commission, we need to maybe pull back on some of the things that we are trying to do to make sure that we do a good job and not try to do too many jobs that we can't do any of them right. So, I mean, we're talking about soccer. We're talking now, we got a lacrosse that we're dealing with. We have not settled, and I guess they need to come in at our next meeting is the baseball people, because I'm not convinced that we have clarified and fully worked out the maintenance issue on that field or on those fields. So when they come in I'm assuming they're coming in next month, which, it's start of the spring. So I just want to be sure that we maybe just pull just pull back a little bit so that we make sure that we get all of our projects done properly. It'd be better to, have good quality and less quantity. That's my spiel for the week.
Thank you.
Okay,
Steve?
thank you.
Okay, I'm good too. Motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys.